Formation laps underway then for Junior ROK's pre-final B. Let's take you through the grid. Yugoslav Roykov starts on pole position and has an opportunity here to take pole position for the final later on this afternoon, but can only do so with a race win. Fausto Arnardo joins on the front row of the grid. Melvin Kaluzdian has been very quick in race trim so far this week. This is the highest we've seen the Swedish driver start on the grid this week so far. Will be on the second row of the grid and joined by another driver who's had good race pace, Toby Gale for CRG. Olivier Mrak and Oscar Galland start on row 3. Alan Jakobiak and Marlon De Salva go from row 4. Adrian Patepa and Ricardo Brangero start on row 5. Xavier Dudkovsky and Kai Burke go from row 6. Filippo Polla has had a bit of bad luck so far this week, but has got good pace for Zanki Motorsport. Starts on row 7 alongside Mara 61s and Tuhan Getty. Olivier Klopek starts on row 8 alongside the Philippines' Ryan Tsai. The last of the rows for drivers in the top 36 in the standings overnight is row 9. On it we find Stefano Zamponi and Angelo Pecoraro. Pecoraro was third on the podium in Mini ROK 12 months ago. Trying to move forward, trying to save their super finals. On row 10, it's Jan Michelexo and Noah Antonsen. Leonardo Lanza and Roberto Ronderos go from row 11. Shiriket Shirimonko Kasem starts on row 12 and is joined by Lena Pickler from Austria. Carson Daly and Dean Pedersen start on row 13. Martin Saar and Marek Livkovsky go from row 14. Alberto Masoto and Cole Medeiros go from row 15. Ethan Seto and Victor de Alencar have the experience to move forward from row 16. They're ahead of Mark Zravich and Victoria Farfus on row 17. The last of the rows, row 18 in a 36-strong field, it's Julia Angelard and Michael Civecic. Into the tram lines, we are green and racing for the second time in the pre-finals for Junior ROK. Through the first couple of corners, out of our sight in the commentary box, and it looks like Roykov has had a decent start here. All of them have had a decent start. No yellow flags out, indicating that we're all good down into the first hairpin. This is where things can get a little bit frisky, though, particularly in the second half. The field drivers will be looking to make early progress in this one. I think there's been a few delays for Brangero and Michael Exo, but they're still running. They're through sector number 1 and all good. Roykov leads through the S's for the first time, and a steady start there, Daniele.
A steady start, and it feels like I don't know if it's an advantage or not, but drivers like Roykov and the others already know that the result from the other pre-final, so they can kind of try to understand where to end up in this one to get what they want. Vedremo se entra in gioco anche il fatto che i piloti di questa pre-final sanno più o meno dove arrivare, se hanno fatto più o meno i calcoli per ottenere il passaggio del turno, la posizione che vogliono. Di sicuro poi farci i conti in pista è un'altra cosa. Ottima la partenza di Roykov intanto con Kaluzlan che cerca di stare al passo. Arnaudo, Gale, Mrak, Di Salvo a seguire con un buono spunto dei primi due che stanno già provando ad allontanarsi il più possibile da eventuali altri contendenti. Vedremo se opteranno per una situazione del genere, cioè di provare a non darsi fastidio nelle prime tornate per creare un piccolo ma sostanzioso gap nei confronti di Arnaudo in questo momento e degli altri piloti che seguono, per avere il vantaggio di potersi giocare le proprie carte in questa maniera. Potepa intanto con Jakobiak che è andato vicino allo scontrarsi con lui. Jakobiak ha dovuto chiudere il gas in apertura di rettilineo, ha perso una manciata, un paio di posizioni, mentre l'impressione anche dalla nostra cabina è quella che comunque la pioggia continua a essere incessante, anche qualche volta aumenta un filino di intensità, e questo ovviamente porta a maggiore cautela nelle manovre dei piloti. Adesso ci siamo veramente molto vicini con Ruikov e Kalusian, mentre arriva una warning flag all'indirizzo di Brangero che, come detto, come diceva Andrew, anche un po' sfortunato nelle scorse giornate, deve provare a inventarsi, insomma, un po' una rimonta in questo frangente per recuperare delle posizioni, sia inteso in pista sia inteso per la griglia di partenza. Scattato piuttosto in ritardo rispetto a dovere, adesso deve un po' risalire la china e chiaramente non era l'inizio di sabato che avrebbe voluto vivere. Ruikov, Kalusian, Arnaudo, Gale, Mrak, Kalusian che ha fatto segnare un ottimo giro, 1.058 insieme a Ruikov, 1.058 anche per Arnaudo. Non sono riusciti ad allontanarsi, uno sull'1.6, Gale sull'1.7 basso, praticamente poi gli altri inseguitori. Seems like Arnaudo is the only one that is trying to keep that pace, the pace by Ruikov and Kalusian. And let's see if he can improve it and get back on them, or if maybe when Kalusian and Ruikov start to battling on the field, he can get back on it.
We'll wait and see. 1 minute and 45 seconds to go on time, and Ruikov doing what he needs to do right now to take pole position. The gap is about 7.5 tenths back to Kalusian. Kalusian, with this drive at the moment, would be getting up onto the third row of the grid for the final. Badoli would be alongside Ruikov. Chikaraki and Arnaudo would be on row 2. Fausto Arnaudo has had a solid week so far. 1.75 seconds off the back of the race leader, who's potentially racing their way through. What's happening in the middle of the field? Well, Carson Daly's giving it a good go. Is up 11 places to 14th. Similarly, Martin Saar. So those are two drivers who started on rows 13 and 14. Daly up 11, Saar up 12. That's giving them a chance. It's not guaranteeing that they'll be in the top 36 and making it through to the final once all the points are tallied up, but you never know. There's been a problem through sector number 1 out of our window. I think it might be Masato who's had a bit of a spin. Unfortunately, Masato is down in 29th place. End of another lap, 30 seconds to go, so there'll be 2 more laps of this one. Ruikov still leads. The gap is coming down. Kalusian has just done the fastest lap of the race, so 1 minute 5.633. That was 2.5 tenths quicker than Ruikov last time around. A little bit further down the order in the top 10 still. DeSalvo's up 2 to 6th place. Burke and Pola as well have both gained 5 places to 7th and 8th respectively. So it's Ruikov from Kalusian. Arnaudo, Gale, Mrak, DeSalvo, Burke, Pola, Patepa and Gallen. That is your top 10. The trouble for Kalusian, though, is I think also the level of spray being kicked up off the back of Ruikov's kart, that whenever the Swedish driver gets close to Ruikov, very, very difficult for him to even see where he's going right now. Probably can't tell that as much from the TV cameras, but trust me, it is going to be a factor for them out there. Out to the final corner on this penultimate lap of the race. On to the last lap. Ruikov still leads by 0.5 of a second. The spray will almost be acting as a bit of a wall to Kalusian, because especially with these positions, they're good positions for both of these drivers. They won't want to take too many risks at this stage and potentially spoil things for the start of their finals, which could be in similar conditions as well. Through turns 6 and 7 go the race leaders. Kalusian trying a subtly different line there to Ruikov through turn 7. He isn't quite able to close up to the back of the Bulgarian. I've got to say, I've been very impressed with Yugoslav Ruikov's pace this weekend. He would fully deserve a spot on the front row of the grid. There are yellow flags out at turn 7. There's at Marshall post 7. There's driver off to driver's left who's going to go a lap down. Not a problem for Ruikov though. Ruikov out to the final corner. Is on pole for the final. Wins pre-final B. in Junior ROK, and jumps Bidoli in the final phase as all the points are tallied up. Another great drive from Melvin Kalusian. He will be a factor in the final. We'll start it from the third row of the grid. Fausto Arnado will be there as well, third in the pre-final. Means he'll be on the outside of row number 2 for the super final later on this afternoon. Good drive from Toby Gale as well. Keep an eye on the Thai driver in the 288 there. Another strong top 5. Will be rewarded with a 4th row start on the outside there. Oliver Mrakin 5th, Marlon De Salvo 6th, Kai Burke, Pola, Patepa and Gallan all in the top 10. Jakub Biak, Daly, Dudkovsky, Zamponi and Pecoraro in the top 15. We'll wait and see if that's enough for Daly. That was a good drive from Daly, up 13 spots to 12th. Banjero in 16th ahead of Lanza, Saar, Shiro Kasem and Pedersen. That's your top 20. Renderos 21st. Zvaric in 22nd ahead of Medeiros, Pickler, Antonsen in the top 25. Civedic in 26th place ahead of De Alencar, Rangetti, Lipkovsky, Klopek, Angelard, Farfus, Seto and Sai, the last of the finishers. 2 retirements in that race who were Makalexo and Masoto. We're going to take a short break in the comments here. Don't go anywhere. More racing coming up here at Lonato. ROK SVR out next.